Hello and welcome to day two of the 2026 Meta Ad Strategy Workshop brought to you by Brand Shift Consulting, your strategic digital marketing partner. So, we started this conversation in day one's class, and so far, so good. It's been electric, it's been amazing, it's been mind blowing. I've been receiving a lot of feedback from people that have gone through day one, and I'm super excited that this class is impacting value to you. You're learning a lot and all that and all that. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Today, we are going to be running through the CFNAF framework that we use to run high ROI, high converting ads in Brand Shift Consulting. All right. Now, before we get into the meat of what we have to cover today, let's just do a quick recap of what we did in day one. Now, keep in mind that I am not going to go in depth to run through all these things. Again, we've already talked about them in detail. So if you've not gone through day one's lecture already, I don't know what you're waiting for. But in day one, we covered a couple of things. Number one, I showed you the real problems that you are facing with your meta ads. It's not just enough to say, oh, I'm running ads, they are not converting. You need to understand the problems so that from knowing the problems, you can begin to find solutions to the problems that you now know. So in day one, I showed you the real problems that you are facing with your ads. I also showed you four reasons why you keep investing money in meta ads, and then you have little or nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Four practical reasons. And then finally, I walked you through the six different meta ads objectives, and I helped you understand how to do your audience segmentation based on the meta ad objectives, right? I showed you the different audiences that you have when it comes to selling online, your hot audience, your cold audience, your warm audience, and then I also helped you understand how these audiences relate to the meta ad objectives so that from the beginning of your campaigns, you can make progress. Okay. So that said, let's jump into today's conversation. Now, before we actually jump into the conversations for today, there are two stories that I would like to tell you quickly. Two stories that I would quickly love to tell you. Don't worry, I'll make it very succinct. Right. So, story number one. This, as you can see here, are screenshots of some of the results that we got from a particular client that we managed a campaign for. All right. So earlier, let me just give you the backstory. This client, as you can see here, the niche is health and wellness industry. Right. What was the problem? Our client is a 64-year-old health consultant, right? A pharmacist to be precise. And this client wanted to relaunch her group coaching program. There's a reason why I'm telling you this story. So I want you to open your ears and pay very close attention. As I said, our client is a 64-year-old health consultant, health and wellness consultant. And she wanted to relaunch her group coaching program. However, she as obviously as a business owner, you cannot launch into the void and expect sales. So what did she do? She wanted qualified leads and a ready audience to launch this her group coaching program to, right? So what did we do? She hired the brand shift team to manage her campaigns. Remember, 64-year-old client didn't even want to bother with the ad. She had better things to worry about. So she brought on the brand shift team to handle her campaigns for her. What did we do? We managed her meta ad campaigns and we were able to generate 1,100 plus high quality leads in just 10 days. And as a result, our client was able and ready to launch her group coaching program, right? In the final analysis, what were the results that came out of this campaign? Our client's launch event was a massive success. Upfront, the client was able to generate 11x ROAS from her ads. What does that mean? It means she made back about 11 times the money that she spent running ads. Let me put it into context again. It means that for every $1 she spent on ads, at the end of this marketing to the leads that we generated, she was able to make back $11 for every $1 she spent on ads. And I put in these screenshots here so that you don't doubt me. As you can see, this was the dashboard of her CRM. 1,103 leads generated in just 10 days. If you can look at the picture under, you will see that her campaign was so mind blowing. We are getting high quality website leads, people that actually bought her offer at just 72 naira. There was a campaign that actually did better than this, right? So as you can see, it was crazy. This is story number one. Story or case study number two, let me tell you the story of another client that we managed a campaign for. This time around, the niche was in the remote work and MMO niche, right? When we say MMO, I mean make money online. So remote work slash make money online. That was the niche. What was the problem? Our client, the name of the client is Doyen CV. I'm throwing names here so that you can go and check, go and verify, go and question, go and ask, right? Doyen CV was the client. They wanted to launch their online course. And that online course teaches African talents how to land remote jobs globally. So as long as you're an African client talent, you have skills, and you want to get remote jobs from across the world, that was the program or that was the product, the course that our clients were selling. But the clients didn't know how to actually maximize their sales online. They didn't know how to go about setting up their sales process and making sure that their course sold in the market. So what did we do? We built the entire sales process for this campaign. When I say sales process, I mean we built the sales page, integrated the checkout process, we set up their marketing funnel basically, and we managed their meta ad campaign. What were the final results? Our client's launch was an amazing success. According to the CEO, when the CEO was giving us feedback, she said, and I quote here, she said, we exceeded the number of expectation or the number of enrollments I expected, and we were closing sales every single day. These were the words of the CEO. Now, I couldn't put in the exact testimonial here, but as you can see from the screenshots on your left, on the left side of the screen, these are some of the results that we are getting from different campaigns that we are running for this single client concurrently. As you can see, 151 purchases on the website, 196 purchases, 120 purchases. It was massive, right? 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 Now, I can actually go on to show you multiple case studies of multiple successful campaigns that we have managed for different clients across different industries, but that would defeat the point of this conversation. Why did I show you these two different campaigns in different niches? Very simple. My point here is this: the difference between a campaign that converts and a campaign that does not convert is one word: strategy. Repeat after me, say strategy. No, you did not say it. I am looking at you. Say strategy. You have still not said it. Repeat, say strategy. I want you to understand, I mentioned this yesterday and I'm going to buttress it again. Running ads is the easy part. Any human being can open ads manager, click buttons, and their ad is running. In fact, you are sitting here because most likely you self you even know the buttons to click in ads manager to set up an ad, right? So running ads is the easy part. However, if your strategy is weak, when I say strategy, remember yesterday I talked to you about what I mean by strategy. That is, if you are not sitting down to critically think through the process of your ads, you are wasting time, you are wasting money, you are wasting your God given funds. That is why we want to show you our in house CFNAF process for high converting ads. The things that I'm going to be sharing you today with you today are the things that we do before and after running ads to ensure that the ads convert. Just like the two different case studies that I shared with you right now. Are you ready for this? Get a note and a pen. Get a note and a pen, and please take notes. You will not have access to this workshop forever. I might revoke it anytime. So make sure you are taking notes. Oh yeah, stand up, stand up, stand up. Go and bring pen, bring paper. Right, right, right. No, it's not your network. I'm waiting for you to bring pen and paper. Have you brought pen and paper? Good. Let's jump into the CFNAF process for meta ads that convert. Now, when we say CFNAF process, is a 5-step process. So we're going to be taking it one step at a time. So we'll take C, we'll take F, we'll take N, A, and F like that. By the time we are done, you will know exactly what to do before you start running ads, after you start running ads for your ads to convert. Okay? So let's start with step one. C stands for what? Clarity. Clarity. And as I wrote here in the back in the bracket, I said no clear goals equals wasted efforts. So let's quickly take this clarity conversation and tear it apart. When it comes to running ads, meta ads that convert, what do I mean by clarity. This is how BrandShift approaches ads across all industries, across all clients' projects that we are working on. We always begin every campaign by clearly articulating what our clients want to promote at the end of the day. We will never start an ad without knowing what the client wants to sell. Okay? It's not let's just run ad for the sake of running ads. It's not let's just do and see. No. There must be a clearly written out objective for every campaign, whether it is a sales campaign, a lead generation campaign, or even an awareness campaign. We start by clearly articulating what the client wants to sell. So if we are generating leads for a client's offer, we know exactly what that client is selling at the end of the day. For example, let me take you back to case study number one. Our client, the first case study that I shared with you here, our client wanted to share us to sell a group coaching program that teaches da 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 da. We were very clear on what the client was selling and the outcome that the client was selling to our target audience. And you want to do that before you go to run ads. Don't run ads and say, let me see, let me test, let me know. The Lord will provide. God will help us. Ebenezer is my strategy. You're wasting your time and your money. Sit down there and be clear on what you want to do with the ad. I've said this one too long. Let's move on. The second thing I wrote here is one clear offer. Please, one clear offer. Yesterday, I talked to you about something I called the general merchandise advertising, where you are promoting an entire business and both you and the audience that you're promoting to are confused. We are Praises Cakes. We are dealers in cakes, small chops, samosa, spring roll, egg roll, blah, blah, blah. That's just confusing to everybody. Pick a clear offer. Okay, I want to sell a group coaching program that teaches this, this, and this. Or I want to sell an online course that teaches people how to become amazing Forex traders. You want to be very clear on that. Now, for your offer, make sure that you have a clear problem statement and a clear solution statement. Please write this down in your notes and use AI to buttress this. I'm not going to show it to you. A simple problem statement and a simple solution statement. These two things will help you with your marketing message. So write it in your note. Problem statement, solution statement. Right? Down here, I said, even if you are running a lead generation campaign, you must articulate the exact offer you want to sell eventually. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Don't run ads because it is what is raining or because ads are in vogue right now. It's just a waste of your hard-earned money. What do you want to sell? Because this becomes the yardstick to measure your progress. You cannot tell me that your ad converted just because it got likes and comments and engagement and shares. If you were trying to generate leads for an offer and your ad was just getting likes and comment and shares and whatever, but you were not getting leads, but you were not getting sales, can you see already that you are failing? But you will not know because you are not clear on what you are doing with ads. So start with clarity. On my to-do list here, I wrote it for you. I've already said it, but let me just say it again. Define your offer's problem statement and solution statement. And if you don't know how to do this, use ChatGPT, use AI, Claude AI, whatever. Gemini is going to help you do something in that regard. Okay. So that is that about the C. The second step is what? F. F. And F stands for what? Funnel. Funnel. When I say funnel here, I mean define the best way to drive conversions. All right. So let me explain what I mean here right now. Let me quickly explain what I mean here. It is not just enough to go and be clicking buttons up and down and saying, okay, I'm running ad or I want to run ad. You want to, now that you know the products that you are offering, now that you know what you want to push, the next thing you want to ask yourself is, what is the process that people will follow to go from strangers to conversions via your ads? Yesterday, I showed you that there are three different audience segments. I told you that there's the cold audience, there is the warm audience, there is the hot audience. When you run ads, your eventual goal is to move people from being your cold audience and then you want to move them into your hot audience. But the question is, you don't just pluck people at random from your cold audience and make them your hot audience. I'm not going to explain what I'm saying. I'm assuming that you understood it from yesterday's or day one's class. If you didn't understand this one yet, go back and watch day one's class. You don't drag people from your cold audience and throw them into your hot audience. There must be a process. Now, that logical process that people follow to go from strangers to patronizing your brand or doing business with you is what we call a funnel, a simple step by step process that takes people from the point where they are strangers, they don't know about your brand, to the point where they trust you and they have brought out their money to do business with you. So that is the second thing we do. Now that we have clarity on what we want to sell, we map out a winning funnel. So from this ad, what happens? Are they clicking a button? Are they sending a DM? Are they sending are they going to a sales page? Are they watching a presentation? Are they coming into a workshop like this? You want to sit down and clearly articulate what happens when people click your ad. It's not that people are clicking your ad, then you are supposed to send them to a website, but the website is not working. Website is not opening. The link is broken. Everything is just wrong. You already see why you are wasting money on ads, but it's not converting. Funnel. Now, the next question you want to ask yourself is this process now, Ganganik Baton, that I have said, okay, that this is what I want to do, or this is how people are going to process or progress from my ad. You want to ask yourself, does this process even make sense? A lot of us run ads, but we don't put ourselves in the shoes of the people that we are running ads to. So we use a process that makes absolutely no sense, and we are complaining that our ads are not converting. Let me give you an example. Look at this table that I drew here. I said makes sense and does not make sense. So, for example, let's compare two things now that make sense and don't make sense. Case scenario number one, you are running a lead generation campaign, right? Lead generation, you are generating leads. And the process is very simple. From Meta, that's let's say Facebook or Instagram, people click your ad and then it opens up an opt-in page on a website, right? On that opt-in page, they submit their details. Let's say for this now, you are selling an online course or a coaching program, right? The opt-in page opens, they submit their details, then it automatically takes them to an email list. Now, from that email list, you can begin to give them the lead magnet and then follow up from them via email or follow up with them via email. That is a process that makes sense. A process that does not make sense, for example, I showed you yesterday, you have a high ticket offer. For example, you have a consulting offer, right? Price 300,000, 500,000, 1 million naira, and you are targeting a cold audience. And the next thing there, bam, is sales page. Everybody should go and buy. My question is, when was the last time that you saw an offer of 500,000, 1 million naira from a brand that you don't know and you opened your card and you bought? I asked you this question yesterday. So you see that it does not make sense. You have a funnel, but your funnel makes no sense. Another one that makes sense is using a sales page to promote your paid offers. So let's say you are selling physical products. Let's say you are selling, you sell physical products. Then you have a sales page where people click your ad, they go on the sales page, they read everything about your offer, they can just buy it online. It makes sense, especially if it is something that people buy constantly. Let's say, for example, you're selling bags, you're selling wigs, you've given every information about those products, and people can just buy online, right? Or the one that does not make sense is you are running ad. The CTA button there, that the button that people click on your ad is taking people to your WhatsApp DM when you know that it takes you 72 hours or 1 week to answer people in via WhatsApp, but you're still running ad, sending more and more people to that same WhatsApp. Are you seeing that your funnel does not make sense? I don't know if this thing I'm saying, are you as in, is it making any sense to you at all? I genuinely want to hope that this is actually making sense to you. So moving on, I said here, very important point that you need to take note of. Before launching your Meta ad campaigns, hold your ears and listen to me. There are three questions that I want you to ask yourself before you launch any ad, whether Facebook, Instagram, or even any on any social media platform for that matter. Number one, ask yourself, does this conversion process or funnel make logical sense to the market? Remember, when I say funnel, I mean the step-by-step process that your audience will take or follow to go from being strangers to becoming your clients or your customers or doing business with your brand. So you want to ask yourself, this step-by-step process that I have itemized now, does it make logical sense to the market? There are things that you are selling that you between you and God, you know that there's no need stressing people to enter your DM to send you a chat. Because this product is a product that has a fixed price, for example, that people can just go on a website, they can order immediately and they can move on. For example, let's say you're selling an online course, right? As a course creator, a digital product creator, or you have a coaching program as a consultant that you are running. And instead of just sending people to a sales page to read or an opt-in page to join your funnel and get nurtured, you are telling them to send you a DM. Your destination there is WhatsApp for them to send you a DM. You know that that funnel doesn't exactly make sense. So ask yourself, does this process, does this funnel make logical sense? The second question to ask yourself is, does this my conversion process build trust with those who will see my ad? For example, you have an offer now that you are selling a service, right? Let's say you are a photographer and you're trying to sell your photography bundle, your photography offer via social media ads, let's say Instagram ads. You have a special offer for people that want to do birthdays, for them to come and you will do a birthday shoot for them. This is a very random example. And then you're using a sales page to sell it. And then on that sales page, there's not even one single testimonial. There is not one single picture of birthday shoots that you have done before. You see that that thing is not going to build trust with the people that will see your ad because they will click on it, they will click on your ad, they will land on your sales page. They'll be like, this one that does not have one single testimonial. This one that I'm not seeing one single before and after picture. So I should carry my birthday shoot and go and give this man so that he will mess me up on my big day. They will not answer you. I'm using very random things, for example. Or you run a spa, for example, now, and you want to run, and then you have like a special deal coming up where people can come and they'll do a full body massage, do manicure, pedicure, and all that and all that. And then you are using like a sales page to run that thing. But when we come on your sales page, there is not one single picture about your spa on that page. There is not one single feedback from a previous satisfied client that has been in your spa. You see, these are the things that are making you waste money on ads because your ads are not intentionally building trust. Your funnel is not intentionally building trust with the people that will see your ads. Right? I give you an example. The first case study that I shared with you about the 64-year-old client. One of the things that we featured on her opt-in page is that the class or the offer that we are generating leads for, that's the webinar we're generating leads for, was being taught by a 64-year-old pharmacist who had over 40 years of clinical experience and is now retired. Are you seeing how this positioning statement builds trust? So when random people just stumble into the ad, they're like, whoa, this person is 64 years. She has over 40 years, 4 decades of experience. This person knows what she's saying. I need to be in this class. So you want to think to yourself, what are the things that are going to build trust? Ask yourself, are those trust building elements in my funnel? Or you are running an ad, for example. Let's say you sell food and you sell, let's say, egusi soup in bowls, right? Instead of you to take time to do your creative, do your video and like make your creative a video. And in that video that you are using to run ad, let us be seeing the bowls of egusi soup steaming hot like this. You are stirring it. We are seeing all the meat. We are seeing everything. We are seeing it. And then we are seeing you wearing your branded apron. Instead of you to do these things, you are now doing one simple flyer. Very random, simple flyer. See, ads is about common sense. Think, is this team building trust? The third question that you want to ask yourself is, if somebody sells to me with this same process I'm trying to use to sell to people, will I be happy? Will I buy what they are selling? I call this the if it were me rule. If somebody were to use this same process, this same funnel, this same sales page to sell this exact same offer to me, will I be happy? Will I be impressed? Will I buy what they are selling? If your answer is no, you know what to do. So far, we have dealt with what? The C and the F. We said that the C stands for clarity, the F stands for funnel. The third step in our process for running high converting ads is called what? N. And the N stands for what? Numbers analysis. Now that you are clear with what you want to sell, now that you have your funnel mapped out, you need to sit down and punch the numbers. You need to sit down and analyze your numbers. Yes, it is time for us to do some math. So I don't like math. I do not like math. I failed math in secondary school. That one is not my problem. You are the one that says you want to run an online business. Oh, yeah, come and sit down. Let's do math. Before you start running any ad, there is a little math that you want to do. Very simple. Again, I hope you are writing. I'm just going to quickly run through this because our time is fast spent. Before you start running any ad, bring a pen and a paper. Draw a table like this. On the left hand, write target income. Target income means how much do you plan to make from these ads? Put a number there, put a figure there first. So let's say you want to make, okay, as I said here, let's say you want to make 5 million naira, or for the sake of this example, $5,000 from your ad, right? The next thing you want to talk about is what is my offer price? So this thing that I'm selling right now, how much am I selling a unit of this product or this offer? You want to note it down. So let's say, okay, I want to make 5 million naira. That's my target income. How much am I selling? What am I selling? I'm selling an online course. How much is this online course? 50,000 naira. Write it down. The third thing you now want to do is define your target number of sales based on the numbers that you have right now. You want to know, okay, how many units of this thing that I am selling do I have to sell to hit my target income? A lot of us are wasting money on ads. We're not seeing a lot of progress because we don't do the numbers. So you have your target income, you have your offer price. The next thing you want to do is your target number of sales. So to get your target number of sales is very simple. Divide that your target income by your offer price. So let's say, okay, my target income here is 5 million naira, right? Let's say my target income here now is 5 million naira and my offer price is 50,000 naira. My target number of sales is very simple. 5 million naira divided by 50,000 naira. It means that I must make 100 sales from my ads. Are you seeing how we have taken this number from being one vague figure in the air and we have brought it down? So it means, wow, okay. It's no longer just about, oh, I want to make 5 million naira. It's very simple. I need to sell 100 units of my 50,000 naira course and I've hit my target income. All right. So that was step 3A. Step 3B, still under the numbers analysis, there is a second part of it. What is that? It's time to reverse engineer the numbers. So you want to start from your target number of sales and work back. Let me explain. Now that you know your target number of sales, as I said, your target number of sales is the number of sales that you need to make to hit your income target. So let's say, as I said, example, you want to make 10 million naira from a promotion that you are running. You're selling a 50,000 or a 100,000 naira offer. Means that you need to make 100 sales to hit that target income. Now that you know your target number of sales, you want to work with the 1% conversion rule. Please write this in your notes. 1% conversion rule. And what does the 1% conversion rule say? It says that 1% of leads you generate will convert. 1%, that is under, if you do your math, like under bad situations. There is no way this is the 1% conversion rule. In the worst case scenario, at least 1% of the leads you generate will convert. So let's put this into perspective. If you are using the 1% conversion rule and we want to generate 100 sales, what you want to do now is ask yourself, okay, I want to get 100 sales. 100 is 1% of what? It means that at least 10,000 qualified leads need to come into my funnel. Are you seeing that marketing? This is why they keep shouting that marketing is a game of numbers. I mean, sales is a game of numbers. You are failing in your marketing because you don't understand the numbers dimension of things. You want to talk to 500 people and get 50 people to buy. Is he playing? Go and miss the babalawo that blew for you, blew powder for you. Let him blow again. No? The one he blew is not working well. Or you want to get 100 sales and your plan is just talk to the 50 people that live in your estate so that the 50 of them will buy and then they will now go and bring one person. When you're not the Nigerian president, It doesn't work that way. So whenever you are planning your sales, you are planning your marketing, work with the 1% conversion rate. 1% conversion rate is the worst case scenario. We've worked with clients that have hit 10% conversion rate, 7% conversion rate. Usually, if you do your marketing well over an extended period of time, your conversion rate will be higher. But we just say 1% conversion rate so that bad as it bad, you will still be within your margin of safety, right? Now that you know how many leads you need to generate based on the 1% conversion rate, the next thing I said here is that your advertising budget must reflect the income target you are aiming for. This is why I said what I said to you yesterday or on day one. I said your advertising budget is a direct reflection of the goal that you have. So what you want to do now is research average ad results in your niche before you decide how much you want to spend in ad or invest in ads. Research. There are people that have run ads for you before. They put out their information online. How much did they spend to get a single lead? Let's say you're in the real estate industry. How much do these people spend to get one single serious lead that fills out their form and actually comes for inspection? Google, search, ask AI, right? So this lets you understand where you are going to. Now that you know, okay, based on the 1% conversion route, based on the 1% conversion rule, I need to generate so and so number of leads. Now your budget should reflect the number of leads that you want to generate. Now, as a rule, there is a rule that we have, is a best practice that we advise all our clients at Brand Shift, which is what? Be willing to invest up to 30% of your income target in marketing. That money you said you want to make as your general income target, you should be willing to invest up to 30% of it in marketing. That said, I said, avoid unrealistic budget. You will not make 10 million naira with a 10,000 naira ad budget. It's a lie. It's a big fat lie. Wake up. When you're not a money doubler, think about it. If I tell you to bring 10,000 naira, that I know an investment right now that will give you 1 million naira, will you not tell me to run? Will you not look at me and run away and say, this guy is after my money? So why are you bringing that mindset to ads? You think that ads is something that, or is just a magic, or that Mark Zuckerberg has money to just throw around because he's one of the richest men in the world. And you give him one command, he'll give you 1 million naira in return. Avoid unrealistic budgets. We always tell our clients, be willing to invest up to 30%. Usually they don't invest the whole 30%, but it's just for you to have a margin of safety. So let's say you want to make 15 million naira from sales. Uncle, you should be able to spend up to 4.5 million naira on marketing. That is 30% of 15 million. Or you want to do 10 million in sales. You should be willing and able to invest up to 3 million in your marketing. I have said it before and I will say it again. You will not make 1 billion naira with the 10,000 naira ad budget. That is a lying spirit from the pit of hell. Kill it. So far, what have we discussed? We have discussed C, which was the clarity of your offer. We've discussed F, which is your funnel breakdown. And we have discussed N, which is what? Your numbers analysis. Are you ready for us to continue? Are you ready for us to proceed? So far, is today's class making sense to you? Awesome. Can we move on? I guess we can move on. So let's move over to step number 4. Step number 4, assemble your creatives. Up until now, we've talked about the first 3 steps, the C, the F, and the N. We have moved over to the 4th step, which is what? The A, which is what? Assemble your creatives. As I said here in the bracket, I said Meta Ads is all about testing. How you win in 2026 is by having multiple creatives. Let's not even talk too much. Let's move on. Most founders and business owners focus too much on keyword targeting and they pay no attention to creatives. And I see this because I speak to founders, I speak to business owners, I speak to coaches, consultants, people that want to scale their businesses via Meta Ads a lot. And I see that all they know is keyword targeting. They tell them, oh, target this keyword, rank it like this. Target, for example, let's say you're in the skincare industry. Say, put skincare, put skincare, put face mask, sunshade, be sunscreen, blah, blah. They just tell you to pick all random keywords and put there. But what many of these business owners don't do is that they don't pay attention to their creatives. And when I say creatives, I mean the pictures and the videos that they use for their ads. Not knowing that as far as 2026 is concerned, I'm speaking to you from experience. We have multiple case studies, multiple campaigns, multiple results to prove what I'm saying. As far as running meta ads in 2026 is concerned, your creatives drive up to 60% of your ad success. Again, when I say creative, I mean the pictures and the videos that you use for your ads. They are responsible for up to 60% of your ad success in 2026. All our brand shift clients will tell you that personally, I obsess over creatives. I obsess over creatives because I know what creatives will make or break your campaign. Again, when I say creative, I mean the pictures and the videos you use for your ads. Last year, I know you heard of it, right? The Meta Andromeda update. I know you heard of it. It was trending everywhere last year. One of the things that the Andromeda update favors is what? Creative targeting, not keyword targeting. Keyword targeting is where you are picking keyword, target skincare, target household furniture, target blah, 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 blah. Creative targeting is where you spend time making sure that the picture and the video you use for your ad speaks to the target audience you are looking for. So how do we do it? Before we launch any campaign for our clients in Brand Shift, we spend our time creating and assembling our creatives, right? Assembling our creatives. Now that we know that, okay, this is the offer we are selling, this is the funnel that we are using, we have done our numbers. Next thing is to start thinking about our creatives immediately. And for every campaign that we launch, this is our best practice that we use in the company. You can adapt it if you want good results. We don't launch a campaign until we have at least 6 creatives. Remember, creatives means pictures and videos that you're using for your ads. Until we have up to 6, we are not ready to launch a campaign. And we prioritize in this order. Video first. Then we talk about carousel. Then we talk about image. The points that I made here is you need in 2026, if you want to win with ads, you need to spend less time running around and trying to do in keyword targeting or interest targeting, depending on whatever they call it. Spend more time on your creatives. If you doubt me, go and ask these people that do e-commerce, especially e-commerce on a big level. I'm not saying people that do e-commerce and they're making small coins in a month. I mean people that are making crazy money from e-commerce. They will tell you that the kind of money and time they pour into their videos and the pictures that they use for their ad there. See, Meta AI is now very smart. Meta, with this Andromeda update, Meta AI is very smart. It knows how to find the right people for your ad. It feels like I'm talking too much. Remember that our first client that I showed you, that I told you the story, the 64-year-old health consultants that we generated over 1,000 leads for in 10 days. What you saw was that we generated 1,103 leads. But this is what you did not see. You can look closely at where my arrow is pointing at on the second picture. What you did not see is that we launched 7 different campaigns. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's another one that was not showing. As you can see here, it says results from 7 campaigns. We launched 7 campaigns for these clients, and we had 6 different creatives, 4 videos, 2 pictures. Yes. So when people come up and they are showing you results and say, oh, we are doing this, don't say it's a lie. Are you seeing the work that they are doing? Meta ads convert only if you know what to do. And you cannot, 2026, you cannot be running ads and telling me they're using only one picture, one video. Are you playing? Are you joking? How do you know the message that is resonating with your market? How do you know the ads to scale if you are not testing creatives? Case study number 2. This is a particular campaign that we just finished for a client, literally last week. Literally, right? So let me even quickly just run you through this. So this client is the head of school, like she owns her school somewhere in Nigeria, right? And she wanted to launch an online training for school owners like her. right? She wanted to launch an online training for school owners to show them why they're not making enough money from their schools, what they need to fix immediately to get their schools to actually start being profitable for them. So what did she do? She hired the brand shift team to handle her advertising. As you can see, we always bring receipts. As you can see, we generated 451 leads for this client in just 7 days. We ran our ads for 7 days. She wanted very fast, and of course, we delivered. 7 days, we generated 451 leads for this client, as you can see here. This is what you saw. All the client knows is that we brought 451 people that were interested in her offer. What she does not know is that we had to create 6 creatives, 3 videos, 3 pictures. As you can see, 3 pictures here, 3 videos here. So we are now able to push these creatives into the market and we can bring results at scale. The take home from this point is never launch an ad campaign with just one creative. Again, when I say creative, I mean pictures and videos that you use for your ad. Never use one. That ad will fail. In fact, I'm beating my chest and I tell you that if you use one creative for a campaign, it will fail because you'll be thinking that you are getting amazing results. No, you cannot compare. Second point that I wrote here is before you start running any ad for any promotion, whether lead generation, sales, whatever, assemble at least 5 to 6 creatives so that you can test and iterate what is working. Most times you would have heard advertisers talk about scaling ads. Scaling ads. The question is, how do you scale if you are not analyzing? How do you analyze if you are not comparing creatives? How do you compare creatives if you don't have multiple creatives to start with? Case in point, or point exactly, do not start your ads if you don't have multiple creatives. You're wasting your time. By the way, as I said, one campaign is too close to zero. Launch more than one campaign so that you'll be getting more results. Finally, obsess less about keyword targeting. It's no longer as important in 2026. Focus more on creative targeting. What we do now is we do more of zero targeting. So when we are setting up your ad, we just pick the age that we are targeting. Like if there is an age range, for example, usually I don't run my ads to anybody that is below 27 years. I don't want you to say, I don't want children in my funnel. Because I want people that can buy what I'm selling. So we pick the age range, and then depending on the products that we are promoting or the clients that we are working with, we can just pick location. So we can pick maybe Nigeria, Ghana, blah, 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 and just run the ad. Let Meta AI do the work. Focus more on creative targeting. As I said, creative targeting is where you are focusing on the pictures and videos that you're using for your ads, making sure that they are speaking to the pain points of the target audience that you are looking for. Let Meta AI figure out the rest for you. Finally, step 5. We've talked about the C, we've talked about the F, we've talked about the N, A and B of N, we've talked about the A, and let's talk about the F. I want to keep this class below 50 minutes. Final F is what? Your follow-up process. Listen. I'm not even going to beat about the bush with this one. 70% of your conversions hide in follow-up. Trust me, 70% of your conversions hide in follow-up. If you miss this stage, you will waste your money. You will just be generating leads and you will not be seeing anything from the leads. So how do you do this? I made a couple of notes to guide you. Never begin a lead generation campaign without carefully planning your follow-up process. Don't just go and run ads and say, let me generate it. When they come, I'll figure it out. No. Before you start, figure out your follow-up process because your money is hiding in that follow-up. There was this popular marketing research that was done, and it was discovered that the average person needs to see your marketing at least 7 times before they take action. The question is, how are they going to see it 7 times if you don't have a strong follow-up system in place? So when I say plan your follow-up, how do you do that? I always recommend that you have at least 2 platforms for your follow-up, right? So let me give you an example of a simple funnel that we have used multiple times and it works. So you're running an ad, let's say you're selling a coaching program at the end of the day, right? Or an online course or something like that, a service or an offer. And then you have an ad. People click the ad, they come on your landing page or an opt-in page where they take the freebie that you are giving out, right? The lead that you're giving out. They take it and they submit their details. They are taken to a thank you page. From that thank you page, they are redirected into your email lists. And then on that thank you page, there's also a button for them to connect on WhatsApp, on Telegram. This is basically how we ran the funnel for this campaign. As you can see, maybe you came from an ad on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. No matter where you came from, you saw the ad, clicked on our sales on our opt-in page, you submitted your details, it took you to a thank you page. On that thank you page, there was a button to join our Telegram community. So we have you on Telegram. We also have your email. So I can now do cross-platform follow-up. That is literally what I mean. Like two platforms for your follow-up, right? Now, if you are selling to a Nigerian audience, let me just say this here, it's very important. If you are selling to a Nigerian audience or an African audience by extrapolation, never use one platform for follow-up, especially if that your one platform is email. The average Nigerian, the average African is horrible with reading emails. It's just a thing, right? That's why you can send email there and 1 week they have not seen it. So what do I say? If you're selling to an African audience, Nigerian audience, don't use one platform, especially email, to do follow-up. You will crumble. Put me under your email. Sorry, no offense. That came out the wrong way, but you know what I mean, right? So do at least two platforms. So that way, even if people miss your emails, they can see your follow-up message on the other platform. So let's say you are doing email and WhatsApp. In the morning, you fire email, you send WhatsApp message. That way, if they are not seeing the email, they are seeing WhatsApp. They will see one, they will buy what I'm selling. That's the plan. You will buy what I'm selling, sir. On Telegram. Now, when it comes to your follow-up, content marketing is non-negotiable. Let's not even beat about the bush. You must know how to write and sell. It is not enough to generate leads. You must keep showing up so that you can stay top of mind. This has happened to me. I've literally run ads where I generated a lead. This one happened, I remember, 8 months because I saw the timestamp. We generated this particular lead. Let's say we generated it, a woman today. She became a lead today. She took our freebie today. She did not buy what I was selling until 8 months later. She just came and paid and moved on. But between those 8 months, she could remember me for something because I was consistent, I was active, I was showing up, I was using my content to reinforce my position in their minds. And it has happened to me again and again. People come into my orbit, some of them don't even buy what I'm selling. But when the time comes, when someone needs the service that we are offering, either brand shift or my personal brand services, they recommend us. When they are ready to take up our offers, they ask, they reach out, they ask, why? I am staying top of mind, I am creating content. Now, for your follow-up to be effective, your marketing must come from multiple angles. I know that I said show up consistently, be in their face and all that and all that. But you cannot be saying the same thing every day now. It's not that same one flyer that they posted, they gave you that you'll be using to market every Eke market days, that same flyer. They will be tired, they will not answer you. So your marketing must come from different angles. You must approach your marketing from different angles. Let me give you an example. There was about 2 years ago, I was actively marketing my course called the WhatsApp Profit Framework course. If you are already part of my community, you would have seen me do this. So this is not me telling you a story, a jamboree of what I've not done. I just took a screenshot from my Canva dashboard to market this course. I think this was within about a 4 month period. I designed 131 different flyers. Of course, the course sold well, sold to hundreds, if not over 1,000 people, right? Yes, way more than 1,000 people. And it's not just about, hey, I sold or I made so and so money from the course. No. Are you seeing the work that went in? 131 flyers now, your mates. Because each flyer was a different marketing message, speaking to a different pain point, speaking to a sub-different audience. And of course, each flyer will come with its own write-up, right? Now, there's a life hack that I wrote here. If you are confused about how to create your follow-up content, sit with AI. See, life has become easy. Go to AI. I'm selling so and so program or so and so this or so and so product. I want follow-up will help me to craft follow-up message. Give me a content idea, blah, 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 blah. It will create your content calendar for you. And it will also help you write the follow-up messages. Don't go and be suffering from it. Right? So, my dear, we have come to the end. There is no way that you will fail when you are running ads if you follow this CFNAF framework. It is impossible. When you start by having absolute clarity of the offer that you are trying to promote at the end of the day, when you start by drafting a funnel that is amazing, a high converting funnel that builds trust and gets the audience to take on your offer. When you do your numbers analysis, the way that I shared with you, both in the part A and the part B of the numbers analysis, when you assemble 5 or 6 high impact creatives, and when you have a solid follow up system to convert your leads, in fact, I'm beating my chest. It is impossible for your ads to fail. But the question is, are you going to take action, or will this just be another wow, I learned a lot moment that you don't implement? My knees are on the ground. It's been 2 days of intensely teaching you. Go and take action on this framework. Go and take action on this formula. Go and take action on this process. Come and tell me what happens to your ads after. And by the way, tomorrow or in the subsequent days, right, I will send you or the brand shift team will send you an email with the next steps from this or from this workshop so that you can begin to implement what you have learned. It's not just enough to learn, you need to implement. So, what should you do next? Expect the next set of emails that are going to come from the brand shift team. It's most likely going to hit your inbox tomorrow. But even if it doesn't come tomorrow, keep your eyes open. Be searching your email, be searching for brand shift consulting because that next email is very important for your marketing. And by the way, let me know. Let me know. Was this workshop helpful to you? Did you learn something? Send an email or talk to me on the Telegram community, or you can just send a DM. Let me know if you actually learned something new from this. Keep your eyes on your email and expect to hear from the brand shift team very soon. My name is Dr. Praise, signing out. It's been an amazing 2-day session with you. Thank you so much for your time. Keep your eyes on your email. Thank you.